Would you look at that? We got a new starter pack, completing the quartet, I think is the word for that, where we had the Outlander Metal Team Leader, we had the Ninja starter pack for the Samurai Scrapper pack. It's been a while, I'm forgetting all of these. Powerhouse was the Soldier, and then Machinist Mina is the Constructor. So, what you get with this bundle is access to Save the World, and because I get the comment every single time in these videos, no matter how soon I answer it in the video, okay, so let's talk about V-Bucks. Let me just clarify this. It's a little confusing, but if you have owned the game previously, meaning you bought it as a founder and you did not get the game from one of these starter packs, you have been earning V-Bucks from missions and whatnot, and you're good, and you will continue to earn those even after buying this. If you are brand new to the game and you've never played the game before, then not only am I going to plug my YouTube a little bit, you don't have to subscribe. I never say that you need to do that, but if you are interested in Save the World content, I do make lots of it. If you are brand new to the game, you will not be earning V-Bucks from Save the World. You'll be earning X-Ray tickets. They function identically to the V-Bucks. They just aren't able to be spent on Battle Royale, and that's basically the only difference. If you ever see a llama in-game that you want to purchase, say you go to the llama shop and you want one of these things, you can absolutely use X-Ray tickets just like I can here. So, with that out of the way, let's talk about what you get from this pack. Access to Save the World. No, you do not get a discount if you already have Save the World. I'm about as angry about it as you are, believe me. Machinist Mina, who is not brand new, she is a reskin of Machinist Harper. I'll do that later actually in the overview of the hero herself. There are lots of timestamps. You can probably see it in the timeline where you can skip around if you're interested. The Zap-O-Max Trap, which is a reskin of the wall Dynamo, which is a pretty good wall trap. It's run-of-the-mill, sort of middle-of-the-road kind of thing. It is not a bad trap, so it's definitely a good thing to grab. And then, of course, you get to use a Machinist Mina skin in Battle Royale and Save the World for that matter. So if you want to use a different loadout and you don't want to use a Machinist Mina hero, you can use her skin if that's something you're interested in. And of course, you get the back bling as well. Not to mention, this is probably why they don't discount it for, you know, the people who already have Save the World. You're getting 1,000 V-Bucks and 1,000 X-Ray tickets, which is basically, I think $16 since it's no longer like the full like $10 per 1,000 V-Bucks. So that alone kind of justifies the price of this depending on who you're asking. So in Epic's eyes, that seems to make sense, but either way, it will mention that you are not going to get any of these rewards until you at least complete the first Storm Shield of Stonewood, and that kind of makes sense because you have to actually, you know, get through the tutorial of Save the World before you can access all the regular menus, and then your adventure truly begins. And then, of course, it just specifies V-Bucks. I'll allow you to read this, but I think we all know what V-Bucks are. So without further ado, let's purchase the pack and check out what it gives us. All right, we have purchased the pack. Here we go. So this is, of course, just going to give us everything that we already said. This trips me up every time because I feel like somebody just sent me a gift. But yes, you will be unlocking the hero and trap as a purple item. You will have to use a little bit of legendary flux, but that's okay. You can get that from the collection book and from the weekly event store and all that. It's not that hard to obtain. But there we go, Machinist Mina. So let's put Lexa aside for now. Throw on the new skin. It will be a blue skin. You can see her in all of her glory right here. I don't even notice what the difference is. I think it's with and without the helmet. So if you're interested in, you know, whichever style, you do have a couple of options. I think we're going to keep the headset on. It's not really a helmet, but there you are. Back bling on. Tank, what is that called? Tank built loader. There we go. And of course, this does work in Battle Royale as well. It's also worth mentioning before I get on with the rest of the video that if you do want to unlock the V-Bucks and X-Ray tickets it gives you, you do have to complete daily quests. You get these every single day. You can replace them if you want. I got the really good one, which is 5 missions will give me 100 V-Bucks. 100 V-Bucks is the most you can get, so if you want to maximize how many V-Bucks you get from dailies, always replace these 50 V-Buck missions. However, if you hold on too long, you can only save 3 of these at a time. So eventually, if you get a little unlucky, you will have to actually complete these at some point, or else you'll just be losing them. But you do need to complete these quests. So if I completed these 2, I would get the first round of V-Bucks and I believe 2/3 of the second round of V-Bucks. So just play for a week and you'll be able to unlock all of these. Now to talk about the hero section of this video, this is, to my understanding, a reskin of Machinist Harper. Now we have had reports in the past that Metal Team Leader has different stats than her counterpart. I am not certain about that with Machinist Mina, but if you're not sure what I mean by the same as a different hero, let's go to the constructor section and show you exactly what I mean. So Machinist Harper should be in here somewhere. I'm usually blind, but there we go. She gives you a 17.5% trap durability increase in support and a 52% increase in the lead. You can see in my inventory here, the broadside has 36 durability, and in game it is actually buffed to 89, but when you place it in game, it rounds up to the nearest whole number, the nearest integer, if you will, and basically you get 90 shots instead of 36. That is really, really huge for basically Storm Shield defenses, endurance. I used Machinist Harper when I completed endurance and Twine. I'll link that video down below and how exactly we did it, but she is a fantastic hero to use because in those long 2-hour plus missions, you are going to be running those traps as long as they are going to last, meaning they are going to break in the middle of the game, and Machinist Harper will delay that significantly because replacing a trap in the middle of a fight is something that can get you killed. And if your defense isn't set up to handle that, you're going to have to go in and replace it yourself. And with Machinist Harper, you might not have to do that nearly as often. And that's exactly what Machinist Mina does. She does the exact same thing. I also wanted to talk quick about a good loadout that would work with Machinist Mina and a nice little did you know about it as well. So the Tough Traps ability is really important to understand that it doesn't actually need to be affected by a base, meaning it's not going to only affect traps within your base, it's going to affect the entire map, which is a really, really nice thing to have. And I think a typical constructor build is like what I'm using now. This is basically geared for AFKing, like V-Buck missions. Fully contained with Electropulse Penny just to hit the enemies when they attack your structure. Electrified Floors does basically 0 damage, but it'll work in the early game. And then Lofty Architecture is a seriously good one. Base Kyle plus Power Base Nox or Power Base Penny or whoever you've got that has the Healing Structures ability here. That is going to be a fantastic combo. And I ran Mega Base just because we were doing an Atlas mission last time. If you're going to be running this in a serious mission, I would recommend something closer to like Ice King, where enemies standing on the structures will be slowed down. That is probably going to be a little bit more help. And if you're going to be running Endurance, Machinist Mina or Machinist Harper are basically the only things you're going to need. You can move your base around periodically with supercharged traps. That comes from Mega Base Kyle, and that will make your traps do significantly more damage and would definitely be worth using. That would be a great combo in a constructor build. But in Endurance, I mean, you're not really going to be impacting the enemies personally, so you want your traps to be as strong as possible, and that would definitely make sense. So Machinist Harper is something I'm really glad to say is not a like super average hero, in my opinion. She's either really, really good, like you absolutely need her like Endurance, or she's not really useful at all, and usually just a trap durability perk on any of your traps will do the same job in game. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not an essential hero in my opinion, but for those Endurance freaks, I know you guys love Machinist Harper, and she is a must-have. I also want to add, unlike Metal Team Leader making her teddies look different and all cute and sparkly, the base does look completely normal, and so does the Rosie. I tested it in game with other heroes and found that they all have this black and orange texture, so honestly, I don't think they textured anything different to match Mina. I think they textured Mina to match her abilities, which, you know what? I'll take that too. Alright, I got the Zap-O-Max powered up. It is a reskin of the wall Dynamo, so let's get into that. So you can see that it is doing okay. I do want to give a nice little comparison here. I'm not really showing any other trap damage for this video, but the broadside, for example, in a tile, in a tunnel like this, would definitely have eliminated probably most of the enemies. This is why I don't use the wall dynamo all that often, but as I do show later on horribly, if you do put it on these little half walls, you can put a wall darts, or in my case, I only had broadsides, and that can actually shoot over the wall. Many Endurance players combo these two traps to do extra damage. So what I always like to say is a wall dart and a wall dynamo combined will do more damage than a broadside, but in a normal mission, a broadside is pretty much going to do the entire job itself. Of course, this is not an ideal situation. You would not want a blanket empty tunnel. You'd want a ceiling trap above and a floor trap below, and maybe don't use a trap tunnel for an encampment. These were done for demonstration purposes, just so you guys can get a feel of how the trap looks, how it performs in game, and whether or not you might want to use it. I don't want to discourage anybody from using the Zap-O-Max though, so if you're brand new to the game, I highly recommend giving it a try, and stay tuned on the channel for my video covering it later. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you use code Mista at your checkout, it would really help me a lot. If you guys want to subscribe to the YouTube channel, I really do, appreciate that as well. Follow Twitch, link below. My streams are awesome. You guys can become a channel member here. Use these emotes down in the comments below. Thank you guys so much for watching, and have a nice day. And then